the constituencies in the Wa East, one of the communities in the Wa East constituency. John Mahama just arrived, and if you look at the young men here, they have been waiting since morning, and so much excitement here. I don't know much about the Upper West region. You are the regional communications officer. Tell me more. I'm told this is the district capital.
Yes, this is the Wa East district capital, like you rightly said. You can see the euphoria for yourself. The people are eager to see the next president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Yesterday we were at Goripie, which is part of the Wa East question, but to give a resounding victory to His Excellency.
The district capital. No third. See that neglected the people because there's filth everywhere, and you can see poverty right in the faces of the people. Tell me more about how the people are managing to survive.
In fact, like you said, the people are just managing body and soul because they are predominantly farmers, and like you know, fertilizer is what they use to enhance their farming. But this government has simply refused to subsidize fertilizer for them, and because of that, they now have to buy fertilizer at very exorbitant prices. Once they are agrarian, they are agriculturalists, they are people who are into agriculture, they are people who are predominantly farmers, and once they are not able to farm, it means their economic activities has reduced. And as you plied on the road, you've seen it for yourself. The road is so deplorable that it is difficult to move all the way from where to this place. In fact, we spend more than 4 hours on this road, which should have taken us not more than 1 hour 30 minutes. But because this government has simply neglected the road, they have simply refused to surface the road with bitumen. They have refused to continue with all the developmental projects that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama initiated. If we go to the only secondary school, that is the Funsi Senior High School. We have 2 secondary schools here, Funsi Senior High School in this enclave, and then Long Senior High School at the other enclave. The Funsi Senior High School have a lot of developmental projects that have been abandoned by this government. You have a dining hall has been abandoned, assembly hall has been abandoned, classroom blocks have been abandoned, science lab is also abandoned. And so this government is just simply good at promises, but when it comes to delivering those promises, they are very bad at that. And so you can see it on the faces of the people. You can see it. You realize that poverty is staring them at the face. This is because they are predominantly into farming, and this government has simply refused to subsidize fertilizer for them. Anything that has to do with agri, this government has simply refused to come to their aid. And once they depend on agriculture, definitely you will see that they are suffering.
And then, during my rounds, I noticed that many of them cannot speak English. Is it that they don't go to school, or the schools are actually not preparing them well?
Well, this question to a larger extent will be difficult to answer. Not that they are refusing to go to school. Some of them are very well educated, but you see, they want to give priority to their native language. That is why you see a lot of them speaking their local languages. It isn't that they cannot speak English. Yes, some cannot speak, but some too can speak very good English. But you see, the schools are also in a very deplorable state, because you go to the basic school in the Upper West region. Most of the basic schools in the Upper West region, the students lie on their stomach to write. This is because the government has simply refused to provide the basic needs for these schools, and that is why in most of the schools you go there and you hardly see teachers in those schools. You hardly see people doing what they are expected to do.
Okay, so what I'll be doing with you largely will be helping me to understand the language, and then through your interpretation, those who are following us on Ways or TV will understand what really is going on here. So I'll be with you in a minute, but I just want to work with my cameraman so that at least we can have a feel of the location where we are now. So you can see from the ordinary people who are gathered here. These are traditionally farmers or people into commerce who have decided to defy all odds, no matter how far those cottages or the smaller communities in which they live are, and they have come here on their own, and here they are, and you see expectations on their faces. These are people who have the only hope in John Dramani Mahama as a candidate of the NDC who perhaps will come to address their needs. In fact, when we were entering the district capital and my attention was drawn to it, I just couldn't believe it. I will make an attempt to speak to one or two. Perhaps if they cannot speak English and I don't understand their native language, then we may do one that is common. You are live on Wezo TV. How are you?
Fine.
You are fine. Can you speak English?
No English.
You cannot speak. What about you?
I'm fine.
Can you speak English?
Yes.
Good. So, why are you here?
I'm with Dr. Mahmoud.
So basically, that is the difficulty they are facing. But let me engage this man. So tell me, first of all, I'm sure you are one of the party executives here.
Yes, please. I'm a branch secretary of Funsi, and we are all happy seeing our Excellency John Dramani Mahama over here. And as you can see, back in history, Sisales and Gonjas have a very good relation. And anytime Sisales see John Mahama here, they are always very, very happy and excited, because anytime at all he's in power, he doesn't usually forget of the Sisala people. And it's the same way with the Sisala people, we can never forget of his good works. And 7th December, it will reflect in all Sisala lands across the country.
So when you say anytime you see him, you are happy because of the good things perhaps he has done for the people of Sisala enclave, can you be specific? Because when I came here, it will look like, apart from the few development projects that some of your colleagues have mentioned, it looks largely neglected.
Yeah, it will be sad for you to know that it's only His Excellency John Dramani Mahama that gave a quota. He tied our township road about 0.6 kilometers, and since then we have never had any of our roads in the district being tied. So even that way alone, we appreciate this structure we are using now. The structure we are using now is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama who put it up. If you look at all the infrastructure dotted around the constituency and even the Sisala land, most of them.
Daughter Munawar the Abasa way Karagara, the Wisuno Akumanya, Atalan we say Quero Yawaso, we say Queta Wasuriabe, Ataki Chanya, Banamanyani Adire, Kame Mo Adese, Amoho, or when you are Atma Tabine, Atma Winha, the John Udi, Jasoka, Amante Nure, Fafabulo.
The kind of infrastructure he has been put there, and during his tenure of office, how burden of parents have reduced, and maybe he's not saying His Excellency Inquire, he's using the Gonja language to welcome him to his slaves.
It looks like there's so much excitement. So these people here, where have they come from? I was trying to imagine how far some could be. What are some of the typical communities where some of them have come from?
Some are coming from a typical community of Balekong, which is very, very far from here. It takes you about 4 hours to research communities.
So they move 4 hours on their own to this place.
The district capital. And I think that is why the Sisala people are agitating that when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama comes into power, he should at least divide the constituency for us, and we know he will do it.
Okay, so at the moment I've seen these are representatives of the chiefs here, isn't it?
Yes.
So they are making their presentation, obviously, which will include some demands. So let's hear what they are saying at the moment. Don't go.
The national, regional, constituency, branch executives and sympathizers of the Great National Democratic Congress, the security and media, all protocols duly observed. I stand here on behalf of the Funsi Kundugu Traditional Authority to warmly welcome you to Funsi, the Wa East District Capital. Your Excellency, during the 2020 general elections, we assure you of our total support and demonstrated it by giving you over 60% of our votes. This time round, we want to assure you that we will increase our votes for you and our parliamentary candidate. We will vote massively to retain Dr. Seydou Jassou as our MP and march you straight into the presidency. When you were president, the East District experienced a lot of developmental projects in the areas of education, health, water, and sanitation, as well as electricity. In fact, it will be time wasting trying to list all of them here. We are therefore most grateful for what you have accomplished. Unfortunately, since you left office, nothing has been added. Mr. Incoming President, your past record is a testament that you deliver on your promises. Hence, we appeal to you to consider the following when you are sworn into office on January 7th, 2025. A. Splitting the East constituency into two to ease governance. You may recall that you made this promise to us during your 2020 campaign tour of the constituency. B. Establishing agric mechanization centers across the East District, which serves as the food basket of the region. Connecting the rest of the communities without electricity to the national grid. Communities without electricity include Halambo Jipie, Saobe, Kulung, Yayuambe, Balekong, Chawole Fale, Du, Chawole, and Jabaga. D. Improving the road and telephone networks across the district. Of special mention are the road networks between Jumo Tinyebe, Konyaben, Kundugu, Tinyebe, Saobe, Du Bayiri, Funsi, Du, Kundugu, Balekong, and Kulung Yala. All the listed communities do not also have telephone network. To conclude, we would like to thank you for the visit. We appreciate. May the Almighty Allah grant you victory come December 7th, 2024. Thank you very much for the audience.
Mama Nobel Atia Akursi represent Nala Waku Bakobaswiatia. Mama Nobel Tiaba Toleno Apelenya Wa East Mabieru Marie Bagayero Dr. Goffred Siedu Tomatina Jasel, Member of Parliament for Wa East, Mama Nobel Atia AMP.
So at the moment, the Member of Parliament for Wa East has been invited to come and speak to the people. Because of the long distances in between the various constituencies we are the programs are being made snappy. And also, my colleague who is here with me helping to understand the language is saying, some of them traveled as far as 4 kilometers to this particular location. And so let's listen to the Member of Parliament now.
To welcome all of you to the Wa East District Capital, Funsi, and to thank you for coming here to re-emphasize our message of change Ghana, to be able to reset Ghana to its past glory. Your Excellency, our people in Funsi and the Sisala areas of Bofiema, Kundugu, and the rest of the communities around are so excited for your coming. They are excited because your message of hope is what we are only banking on now as our last straw. Mr. President, as you can see, you traveled the road network in our place. And we deliberately asked you to come here during the daytime so that you will see the challenges of my people yourself. The road network is a huge problem. Mr. President, the vast nature of our district is a huge problem. It's difficult to traverse the nook and crannies of this district and also bring the development that these various corners of the districts require. And so we humbly request that if you come to power in 2025, 7th January, and we are confident you will take steps to make sure that our district is divided for us to be able to administer it effectively. Mr. President, we are a farming community and we are excited with the programs that you have proposed for developing our district. Whether it is your establishment of a farmer services center, you're feeding the Ghana and the industries program to ensure food security for our country. These are initiatives and proposals that you have put in your manifesto that align directly to the challenges that our people are facing. We look forward to you emphasizing them for us and telling us in clear language how you will do it for us so that we can be confident that as we go to the polls on December 7th, it is you, the Sisala area, and therefore the Y East district, the Y East constituency is going to vote 90% for. I'm confident that even for the problem, Ayesu, Kundugu Koro, and Namineja Ambisha. Tenga Maya Yaka Yangwa, Ndia Yakokore Akutusanti Hone, His Excellency President John
the
Dramani
Member of
Mahama.
Parliament for this area, Dr. Godfred Sedu Jaksau, the MP for Wa East, has just finished addressing the President and is currently speaking the local language for people who don't understand English to appreciate what he exactly told the President about. He spoke about roads, he spoke about the need to give a boost to agriculture, he talked about the need for the constituency perhaps to be given a facelift, the roads to be made more travel, and if it is possible, they divide the constituency. But it is strange. So in 2020, what happened? I understand that there was some semblance of some development projects here in 2020.
Yeah, and if all records are being set right, 2020, when His Excellency John Mahama was touring YEC, he came to these same Funsi, these same grounds, and was telling our people that though you are my slaves, but there's something I can't hide from you. The greatest you are seeing on your roads is because they won your votes.
Okay, so something very important is happening. So let's listen to the MP.
In fact, the branch chairman of the MPP and a number of his entourage has agreed that they see the message you bring, the message of hope you bring, so much so that they are excited and they are prepared to come here and denounce MPP and join NDC and will vote for you in the 2024 election. May I respectfully invite them here to come and let's see them.
So the MP for the area has just made public a number of NPP branch executives who have defected to join the NDC. Now, many of these people you see here, I believe you know them in person. So what has changed? What has influenced these people who are executives of the party to join NDC? Well, let's listen to the Member of Parliament now.
A lot of headache in 2020. They voted for MPP in 2016. They voted for MPP in 2020. Now they have experienced 8 years of excruciating hardship. They have experienced 8 years of hopelessness, and they have resolved that you bring message of hope. And on that basis, they want to show that they have defected from MPP. They are now members of NDC. We have officially gone through the processes and admitted them.
So how significant is this for people of Wa East and Funsi, for example?
It's very significant because these are key people in NPP who have seen that NPP has nothing good to offer the people of Wa East, particularly with the Sisala enclave, and they have decided that it's only NDC and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Dr. Professor yourself who can listen to the price of the people and provide the needed or the necessary development we need in our area. That is why you are seeing them joining us in this 2024 campaign. Actually, these people, as you are seeing, they gave us a tough time, headache power in our campaign.
When you say headache power in your campaign, does it mean that their activities actually affected some of your votes?
Oh, serious. The activities actually affected some of our votes because most of them, as you are seeing, all of them are serious farmers that could sell their farm products to go into the various households to do door-to-door campaign for MPP, which they did.
Okay, so let's listen to the Member of Parliament now. Unfortunately, He's just repeating what he said earlier, but let's hear what he's saying now.
Okay, I think what he's just saying basically was what he said in English, and as he is now speaking in our local, then that's Wale and some mixed Sale to the understanding of our people, what happened, and our brothers are now defecting from MPP to NDC.
Mr. President, with due respect, we are respectfully invited to
And so at this stage, John Dramani Mahama has been invited, and very soon he will be speaking to the people of this area. And you see in your shots the President John Dramani Mahama, who is inviting the defectees to take a group photograph with him. I believe that just after the group photograph has been taken, he will address the people of Funsi, which is part of the Wa East constituency, which is also a district, and we are told that this is the district capital. What we have seen does not give us a good reflection of a district that has received the support from the central government by way of infrastructure development. More so, the assembly itself appeared to be very well deprived, because there are no businesses here, there are no properties here where they can depend on property rates or taxes from ordinary businesses. So the assembly itself is very poor, just like the people.
Yeah, what you said is very true. And even currently as we speak, the parliamentary candidate for MPP, who also double as a DC, has abandoned the assembly. With this, our challenges we're facing, he has neglected the people of Wa East, and now the assembly is now a dead assembly. There's no functional office over there, and actually it's a worry to the good people of Wa East.
Okay, so John Dramani Mahama is just about addressing the people. Let's listen to him now.
Yes, ye are ye koro pana. Funsi koro pana. Funsi koro wayang. Manye funsi koro. No, thank you very much. I'm always at home when I join my Sisala brothers and sisters, because we all know the relationship that exists between Gunjas and Sisalas. We are one and the same people. So thank you very much for the warm welcome you have given me. And I want to thank you for the support that you always give to me. And I know that you're going to give me that same support when we go to the polls on 7th December 2024. We know what the issues are, and so I don't need to explain them again. This election is all about two things. The first one is about the economy. The election is about the economy, it's about our financial situation, it is about the crisis we face, it is about the debt we face. Recently I saw the Minister of Finance said they have successfully entered back onto the international capital market. That was a lie. What has happened is we now have finished the debt restructuring, and we're expected to start paying the restructured debt. And you can already see, as soon as the transition took place, the CD began to lose ground. During the negotiation of the debt restructuring, Ghana was giving a moratorium from paying debt. So even as our CD was moving from 14 to 15 to 16 to 17, we were not servicing any debt. And so even in a situation where we are not servicing debt, the CD continues to lose value to the dollar and other international currencies. That is the situation in which MPP has plunged this country. And that is why they must go into opposition. That is why the elephant must go into the bush, so that NDC can come back and repair the mess that they have created. 8 years, you inherited a very promising economy. 2 new oil wells, additional oil production of 100,000 barrels a day. You inherited all the funds, stabilization fund, sinking fund, Ghana infrastructure fund, energy sector levy, all those things you inherited. And all you needed to do was to build on what the NDC had done to create a better life for Ghanaians. But no, that was not your intention. Your intention was to plunder this country and take the opportunities of the country for only a few family and friends. And so as we are all complaining, there are few of them who are very happy because they benefited over the last 8 years. Those who are associated with the system have benefited. Their party apparatchiki have benefited. Their DCs have benefited. Because when you send fertilizer to them to give to the farmers, they divert the fertilizer for themselves. So when the rest of Ghanaians are crying and suffering, you can be sure that these ones, they will be laughing and enjoying themselves. But they are the minority. We, those who are suffering, are the majority. And that is why we say that NDC is on a rescue mission. Because we need to rescue our country back from them. They have done enough damage. They have sent this country 10 years back from what they inherited in 2017. And so we say enough is enough. It is time for them to go and reflect on the harm that they have caused to the Ghanaian people and give way for more experienced, better managers of the country and the economy to take over and make things better for Ghanaians. And that is what is going to happen on 7th December 2024. This election is about your future. And I look at the faces of these young people. Many of you are holding mobile phones and recording me. I mean, this election is about your future. Good one. It's about your future. I have young children like you, Sharaf and all of them. They are my children. I care about their future. In some years' time, myself and my generation will be dead and gone. And we will hand over this country to you. But what have they left you? They left you with a huge debt that they will be dead and gone and you will be paying. They will not be paying. But they've spent the money today. And so, they've done enough damage. Let them go. We cannot afford to have MPP continue in government. Because if we do that, it will reward mismanagement. It will reward impunity. It will reward thievery. It will reward dishonesty. It will reward daylight robbery. And so they've done enough. Let them go. And let us come and recover what is left and put it together. Pick up Ghana. Ghana is on the floor. Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana, the Black Star of Africa, today is the laughing stock of Africa. We feel ashamed when we meet our other colleagues because they wonder what happened to Ghana. You have always showed the way. All other African countries come and learn from Ghana because we have always led the way. Today, all those countries have overtaken us. Even Cote d'Ivoire, which used to be number 3. Ghana was always number 2. Nigeria was number 1. Largest economy in West Africa. Ghana number 2, Cote d'Ivoire number 3. Today, Cote d'Ivoire is number 2. We are number 3. From 2022, they overtook us. under Baumia and Nana Akufo-Addo. Under Baumia and Nana Akufo-Addo. In 2016, when I was president, they said somebody was the economic messiah. He was coming to change Ghana's economy and move the economy to the next level. The videos are all there. And you see the videos, you see them talking themselves. Nana Akufo-Addo was saying, talking about the currency. And if you remember that video, he says, in President Kufuor's time, $1 equal to 1 cedi. In Mills Mahama time, $1 equals to 2 cedis. You remember that video? And that, because of that, myself and Professor Mills should resign. $1 to 2 cedis. Because of that, Mills and I should resign. But he said, I know they won't resign because the money under the table is sweet. And so we won't resign. But that the people of Ghana should vote against us and send us home. And he said something. He said, that is why I'm bringing a young man from the Bank of Ghana. He helped Kufuor to stabilize the city. Very vivid video. And so the young man from Bank of Ghana came and became the running mate and became the vice president. Today, that CD Akufo-Addo was complaining about, where is it? 17 CDs to $1. So, if the main reason they brought you was to stabilize the city and stabilize the economy, and in 2016 you were giving lectures about how to stabilize the economy, lectures about how to grow the economy, lectures about how to stabilize the currency, and today you can't talk about economy. Head of economic management team, and now you say that, oh, you gave your advice, but if they didn't take it, it's not your fault. Government does not work like that. Government is one of collective responsibility. If you give your advice and they don't take it and things are not going well, what do? You resign. That is what a principled person will do. If you give your advice and they don't take it and things are not going well, you don't stay in the boat until it is sinking and then you say, me, I gave my advice. You should have jumped out of the boat. But you stayed there. And then today you want to distance yourself from it. Hey, that mess they have created in this country, all of them, the day inside, they are part of it. Nobody can extricate himself. And so they must expect the harsh judgment of Ghanaians. But the point I always make is, if you serve in public office, expect to undergo public scrutiny. If you don't want public scrutiny, you don't want public accountability, go into the private sector. Run your own business. You can wake up whatever time you want and go to work. If you make your money, you can spend it however you want. You can buy a car, you can buy a motor, you can go to beer bar and drink with your money. Nobody will come and ask you why you are using your money like that. But when you accept to hold public office, then you must be prepared to be accountable. Because the money you are being paid with, the money you are managing, is the money of the people of Ghana. And if you are managing a person's money, you must be prepared to account to the person. And that is why I say MPP have to go so that we can hold them to account. The reason they are desperate to have Baumia to replace Akufo-Addo in the presidency is that they want him to come and cover their backs. There's no way Bawumia can prosecute Akufo-Addo. There's no way Bawumia can prosecute Ken Ofori-Atta. There's no way Bawumia can prosecute any of the leading members of that party. It is NDC that can come and investigate those who have stolen the money of Ghanaians and hold them to book. It is NDC that can do that. And so for Ghanaians to have accountability, the NPP must leave power so that we can investigate those who have stolen our money. And that's why we've launched Operation Recover All the Loot. If you have stolen Ghanaians' money, you can be sure that when John Mahama becomes president, we will come after you and retrieve that money for the people of Ghana. But I also sound a caution to my own people. If we come into office and we appoint you and you come into public office, you must also be ready to be accountable. Because the same things that they have done, if you come into my government and you do the same thing, and special prosecutor is coming after you, Iyoko is coming after you, don't expect that I'll come and save you. Me, I'm not a clearing agent. I don't clear anybody. And so what we promise you is we'll promise you a government that is efficient, a government that is lean. We don't intend to appoint more than 60 ministers of state so that we can save money and use the money that is saved rather to improve the lives of our people. We are the only party that has published a 120-day program, and that is our contract with the people of Ghana. We have stated precisely within the 120 days the things that we want to achieve, and we expect that Ghanaians will hold us accountable for that. And I can assure you will achieve it. Wa East is a mainly agricultural district. And so one of the farmers service centers I talked about, a lot of our old people call them mechanization centers, because in Nkrumah's time they used to have what they call mechanization centers. But these ones go beyond mechanization. Yes, we're going to have tractors there. There will be 15 tractors. There will be plows, there will be harrows, there will be planters. Everything you need for mechanized agriculture will be there. But beyond the tractors, you also have fertilizer. You have improved seeds. You have weedicides and pesticides. Condemn, everything you need for your farming will be at the center. That's why we don't call it mechanization center. We call it farmers service center, because it offers all the services that farmers need to be able to do successful agriculture. And what the center is going to do is, the researchers at the center are going to have a computer, and they're going to come to your farm and measure everybody's farm. So we'll know how many acres your farm is: 10 acres, 5 acres, 4 acres, 12 acres. We know that this one farms granite, this one farms maize, this one farms yam, this one farms cassava, this one farms millet, sorghum, soya bean, rice. Whatever you farm, we'll have you on record. And we know that for rice, you need this kind of fertilizer. For maize, you need this kind of fertilizer. For soya bean, you need this kind of fertilizer. And so we'll know what each farmer needs. And at the beginning of the farming season, we will give you that support. Subsidized fertilizer, you go to your center, and that's where you get it. For the farmers who are poor and cannot afford, we would write everything we give you down on credit. And when you harvest your crop and you go and sell, then you come back and pay the credits that we gave you, so that the next farming season we can give you support again. And so we're going to have one of those centers here in Wa East, so that we can support the farmers to increase their production. But we're not going to leave the farmers on their own. We're going to have agro-processing centers. And so when you have farmed, the center would have factories there, If it is maize, they'll come and buy the maize off you. And government is going to give a minimum guaranteed price for farmers so that you can get a good price for your maize or for your rice. And that will be processed and sold to the market so that we can become self-sufficient in food production. This year, the rains were not good. From Brongahafu all the way to the north. After we planted, I'm a farmer myself. As soon as I finished planting, the crop started germinating, the rain stopped. And for almost 12 weeks, there was no rain. Luckily, I had irrigation equipment, so I deployed the irrigation equipment, and it saved the crop. But all the farmers around me without the irrigation equipment, they lost their crop. The maize wilted. And so we're coming with a program to supply farmers with water control. So we're going to do small-scale boreholes on farmers' farms, so that when we face a situation like this, we'll drill the borehole on your farm and we'll give you a sprinkler system. So when you plant and the rain does not come, you can use the borehole to sprinkle water on your crops until the rain comes, so that we don't lose our crops the way it happened. And so, now, because of the drought and the poor harvest, government has gone to Parliament to ask for money to buy maize and rice to come and distribute to farmers. But I know that, knowing the MPP government, half of that rice and maize is going to go to their DCs and their party executives and their women's organizers and others who are not even farmers. And the little one will come to those who are the real farmers. And when they give you that little, they expect that they are using it to buy you to vote for them. Let them know that that rice and maize they are coming to distribute is from the money of the people of Ghana. They've gone to Parliament to ask for the money. And so that money is for all of you. And so when they bring the maize and the rice, don't think they are doing you a favor. It is our money, it is our taxes. And so accept it and cook it and eat with your family. But when the time comes for you to vote, remember that you must vote for the truth. And the truth is NDC. So, on that day, you see ballot papers like this and like that. Can you bring this one closer for me? This is the presidential ballot paper. There are 13 people who are registered to contest. And NDC is at the number 8 position. But they are not going to write 8 here. There will be no 8 here. That's why I say don't concentrate on the 8. After the 8, God gave it to us so that nobody will get it to break it. So the 8 is with us. That's the reason God gave it to us. So we are holding the 8 so that the elephant won't get the 8 and break it. But this is what you're going to see. You're going to see my picture, and then you're going to see the NDC Akatawia. That's the umbrella. You're going to see it here. Then the space here is for voting. When you're voting, don't thumbprint like this. Don't thumbprint like this. Thumbprint sideways. Yeah? Put the ballot paper on the table, put your thumb on the ink, and turn your thumb sideways, not like this. Because if you do it long, it can cross the line into this one or into this one. But if you do it sideways, it will just fit properly into the box. Then when you thumbprint, take the tissue that is on the table and clean your thumb very well. Clean your thumb very well until it's dry. Before you touch the ballot paper again. If you don't do that, you don't clean your thumb. After you thumbprint, If you try to touch the ballot paper again, you go and do another thumbprint somewhere. And once they see 2 thumbprints, your vote is a rejected vote, rejected ballot. Okay? So do it properly. Just look for the Akatawia. You don't even need to look for my picture. Just look for the Akatawia. And then when you see it, put your thumbprint there. On the parliamentary ballot, Dr. Giselle is the second one. But like I said, don't look for number 2. Just look for the umbrella. And then you do the same thing. You put your thumbprint. You clean your thumb nicely. And after you clean your thumb, you hold the ballot paper. And then don't fold it vertically. Don't fold it horizontally. Fold it vertically. It means the ballot paper is long, like this. Yeah? Don't fold it like this. After you thumbprint, fold it like this. Okay? Lengthwise, not breadthwise. You fold it lengthwise. Because if you've thumbprinted here and the ink is not dry, when you fold it, it will touch the same NDC side. But if you fold it like this and the ink is not dry, when you fold it like this, it will go and touch another place. And once they see that, they'll say your ballot is a rejected ballot. So the sample ballot papers are coming, and we expect that the whole of November, you're going to use it to train people how to vote. All you, the party executives, branch executives, constituency executives, you have to go day by day to every community, call the people out in the evening when they have come back from their farms. And then you let everybody come and try and test how they vote. Is that okay? The old ladies and old men who have a difficulty voting, the law allows them to be assisted. The law allows you to be assisted. So identify those who have a difficulty voting, and on that day accompany them to the voting center. When you go, you tell the presiding officer that she wants or he wants her child or her brother or sister to go with her into the polling booth to vote. The law allows it, and they'll allow you to do that, because the spoiled ballots in our area are the highest in the whole country. And so we want to reduce it. So if somebody has a difficulty with voting, let them go with somebody to assist them and teach them how to vote. But I have no doubt in my mind that come 7th December, the NDC is going to win the election. By the time Madam Jean Mensah, chair of the Electoral Commission, opens her mouth to declare the winner of the 2024 7th December election, she will have the pleasant duty, I don't want to impugn her integrity, but I'm sure she'll be happy to know that I've won the election. She will have the pleasant duty of declaring John Dramani Mahama the winner of the presidential election. And the parliamentary results are declared by the district electoral officers. They are the returning officers for the parliamentary election. And I know that on 7th December night, before midnight, the district electoral officer for Wa East would also have the pleasant duty of declaring my younger brother, Dr. Seydou Giselle, as the parliamentary candidate for the Wa East constituency. Dr. Giselle, you all know him, very respectful, very intelligent, very intellectual, young man full of a lot of ideas. He is one of those who gives me ideas. He calls me, Mr. President, have you considered this, that, that? And I appreciate that very much. This is a treasure for the NDC party, and your duty is just to vote for him and bring him to Parliament. When you bring him to Parliament, I will do what I want to do with him. So thank you very much. God richly bless you. Yibarka, Yibarka, Yibarka.
So John Dramani Mahama has just introduced the parliamentary candidate for Wa East, Dr. Godfred Seidu Jasao, to the people at Funsi here, and obviously that wraps up a campaign tour of the Wa East constituency. As we speak, is walking towards the traditional leaders to bid them goodbye, and from here we are going to Nobosu, which is also in the Sisala East constituency, which is part of Upper West, where John Dramani Mahama is touring. So stay with us. In the next couple of minutes, we'll be back on air to tell you how the people in the area are going to receive John Dramani Mahama.